Let's start coding. So let's open up Google Chrome. Okay, it's opened up. Right click and go inspect. And then click on this console button here. And there you have it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the console. And don't worry about the elements, sources, networks, etc. for now. We just want to start playing around with the console. So what is a console? Well, let's start playing, like I said, this is where we write JavaScript code. Let's start typing something. So let's write dog. Man, what does this mean? Uncaught reference error, dog is not defined. Well, of course dog isn't defined. We haven't told the computer what dog is. So that kind of makes sense. What about some random text? Same thing. Else cadifcus is not defined either. Makes sense, right? So it's not scary. You can click this little button here to clear the console, to get rid of everything you've typed. Let's try something else. What about 1 plus 5? Let's see if that works. Push enter or return on your keyboard. And yep, there you go. It evaluates an expression. How was that done? Well, the awesome thing is that is JavaScript running on your browser. It literally knows what a 1 is, what that little plus sign means, and that 5. And some clever programmers have written a program in the browser that interprets that into machine code that displays the result for you. And this is what the console is. The fact that we could write 1 plus 5 and then it printed back a result, 6, that is what the console does. All it is it's an awesome way for us to see immediate results. Let's jump into something quickly before we continue. All right, a quick break. We know a console is a place where we can write and run JavaScript code. Let me just break it down a little bit more for you. The console serves two main purposes. The one is diagnostic information. It gives you information about your code. It helps you fix bugs. It helps you change elements on a page. That's what I mean by diagnostic info. The second function that console provides us is awesome, guys, and that is to write JavaScript. And you've just seen some of the code that we've written. And I mentioned this last lecture. I mentioned that the console gives us the ability to read, evaluate, print, and loop. I just want to dive a little bit more into what I mean by read and evaluate, because it's very important to understand how the console works and how JavaScript works. In the programming world, there are a few little terminologies that help us along the way. And one of these is what's known as an expression. What's an expression? Well, think about when we type 1 plus 1 into the console, or we type dog. We're telling the computer what we want it to do or what we want it to evaluate. That is called an expression. And the process that the computer takes to transform that expression into a response, that whole process is called an evaluation. And the last part of it is that when the process of evaluation is done, you're left with a value. In the case of 1 plus 1, we're left with a value of 2. Taking a step back, I want you to start thinking when we type this code, think about that. Expression results in the computer evaluating that expression, which results in a value. Cool, that's it. Let's move on.